A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Monday, August 14th. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. While the Orange County Industrial Development Agency awaits appointment of a state monitor to oversee all of its decisions, the sponsor of the legislation that created that role has a long-term plan for IDAs across the state. Senator James Skoufis says he would like to see the number of IDAs tightened up.
I actually have a bill that would regionalize IDAs, one IDA per region, one for the entire Hudson Valley. And so that is certainly a direction I would love to see us moving toward.
At present, counties have industrial development agencies, as do many local municipalities. Ulster County's government vehicle purchasing policy has just become more sustainable, as County Executive Jen Metzger signed a local law making zero-emission vehicles the default purchase where possible, and requiring that 100% of all passenger vehicles and light-duty trucks be zero emissions by 2035. Metzger says the amended county green fleet policy will accelerate reductions of climate-damaging emissions from county operations.
It's actually more cost-effective than gas-powered vehicles because electricity costs less than gasoline. Just the engines are much more efficient. Electric engines are much more efficient. You don't have to change the oil, so the maintenance costs are lower. So it's a financial win, and it's also an environmental win for the county to make that shift.
Operation of the entire county fleet requires 600,000 gallons of fuel yearly and generates over 5,000 metric tons of climate-damaging emissions annually. Some streets in Middletown can be speedways at times, and residents and city officials want to slow down motorists. One potential solution is speed calming methods, something Mayor Joseph DeStefano supports.
I am a supporter of a pilot project to do the raised intersections in certain parts of the city. One, of course, was at the Paramount Theater, where we could and we could do a pilot project of some sort. The other is a street that we looked at years ago, where different traffic calming methods on Highland, whether it was the butting out the intersections, narrowing certain parts so the speed wasn't as people would not speed as much as they can when they see that big runway of Highland Avenue.
On Highland Avenue now, an electronic speed sign has been installed telling motorists how fast they're actually going. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
State Supreme Court Justice Kevin Bryant left a temporary restraining order in place that prevents the opening of cannabis businesses after a lawsuit filed by a group of service-disabled vets which claimed left them out of the program as a high-priority group like those previous marijuana offenders for licensure and thus violated the New York State cannabis law. Attorneys for the plaintiffs, 4 individuals, argued their clients are at a competitive disadvantage because others are prioritized to get their licenses earlier, and lawyers for the state argued the same matter for an entire industry while the temporary restraining order is in place. This needs to be resolved to everybody's benefit, said the judge after listening to oral arguments. Recipients of the conditional adult use retail dispensary licenses, which included the service-disabled vets, rallied outside the Ulster County Courthouse prior to the hearing, hoping the temporary restraining order would be lifted. After the hearing, they were disappointed no decision was rendered. It's obviously a decision we did not want to hear, said Hugo's Belly Rivas, vice president of the Long Island Cannabis Coalition, an advocacy group.
Definitely going to impact a lot of people, not just obviously the licensees, but just people in general, like people looking for employment that weren't going to be employed.
Justice Bryant has ordered attorneys for both sides back into his courtroom on Friday, August 25th, for more arguments. An estimated 10,000 people flocked to Monticello yesterday to enjoy the annual Bagel Festival. The village was designated years ago as the bagel capital, given its Borscht Belt history. Broadway, the main business street, was closed to traffic as throngs of people visited the many vendors along the thoroughfare and enjoyed a taste of real Catskills bagel. Mayor George Nicolatas noted the annual fest has a lasting impact on the community.
People who've never been to Monticello will come here, and maybe they might not patronize all the businesses today, but now they know where Monticello is. And personally, in my business, I get people who are, I first came here for the Bagel Festival, and that, November, December, they're here, taking a trip and seeing other stuff that we have to offer here.
And the bagels came in all varieties, from plain and salt to pumpernickel and onion. An Orange County court jury has convicted a Newburgh man on a charge of drug possession. District Attorney David Hoovler says 27-year-old Raquan Falls had in his possession over 1,000 milligrams of cocaine when arrested by Newburgh City Police in August of last year.
This is Mr. Falls' third felony conviction and second for drug possession, making him a career drug dealer in Orange County. When he is sentenced in October, he faces up to 4 years in state prison.
Hoovler says career drug dealers contribute to the tragic consequences of narcotics that we see daily. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.